Good morning, everyone. Wow, look at this blue sky. This is incredible. After pouring rain last week, what a beautiful, beautiful April day here in the state of Kentucky. Okay, we're going to give you a sneak preview look at our new laboratory. Laboratory. That's the correct way to say it.
It's laboratory.
I have with me Jennifer Rivera. And Jennifer, what's your title here?
I am the education specialist.
She's the education specialist, and you have a PhD in education.
Education.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Jennifer runs our workshops here called Explore Workshops for
Yes.
students.
Yep.
Homeschool, Christian school, the parents that bring their kids from public school.
Some public
right, pull
school,
them out.
yes.
And you're also a forensic scientist.
Yes.
So you've been involved in forensic science,
Yes.
fingerprinting,
Fingerprinting and other forensic disciplines.
and you've had some work published in that area too.
I
haven't you?
have. And I'm speaking at the International Conference in August
International Conference of...
for forensics.
Are you really?
I am, in Nevada.
In Nevada. Well, that is incredible.
Yes.
It is so great that God brings specialists like you along to a ministry like this, and you can actually be a forensic scientist and a creationist at the same time.
You can. You can be a scientist and be a creationist.
Exactly.
Yes.
We have quite a number of them here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up my Facebook here and monitor it. So if people want to make some comments or ask questions, we have been building a laboratory here at the Creation Museum that's going to be used for these Explore workshops, and I'm going to get you to explain about it. So it's still being set up. It's
Yes.
sort of 80% complete.
It's probably about 80%.
About 80%
They've been
complete.
working on it since January.
So we got people watching from New York City, from Michigan, from Alabama. We're from Perth, Western Australia.
Oh.
I wonder if that's... I often see someone from Perth, Western Australia get on here. Maybe it's the same person. Maybe he can let us know if that is so. And people are getting on now. So we're going to go... Now I'm hoping that the phone signal works inside the room.
That's
If
true. We
there's
have not tested that yet.
No,
So
we haven't tested it live.
yes.
And my videographer, she's very skeptical of me making this decision to try this. So we're gonna do it. But I want you to see what we're doing here at the Creation Museum.
Yes.
Oh, can you imagine? The atheists must be so upset. We're building a laboratory,
science lab.
laboratory, a
To do
science
real
lab
science.
to and do real science here at the
Yes.
Creation Museum because they think we can't,
Exactly.
which is ridiculous.
It is
And
ridiculous.
just before we sneak in and see the lab, which is exciting to see this, and it's still being set up, as we said. But tell us real quickly what sort of programs you're going to do in there.
Well, we launched our very first high school science lab, targeted towards our parents who have a very difficult time, offering high school students the labs at home. So we wanted to partner with the homeschool community and offer a full high school lab practicum right here at the Creation Museum. So the first science we offered this year was biology, and it sold out. And so I actually taught the course this year, and we had a fantastic time. We actually wrapped up the year 2 weeks ago, and the students all got a completion certificate for all the hours they spent here. So they completed the year with 24 science labs, focused on biology to fulfill their high school credit.
That is wonderful.
Yes.
And then you're going to do all sorts of other labs
Yes,
in
it
there
was
too.
so successful, and we had so many requests from parents that we have now expanded that program to chemistry, forensics, and physics for next year. And all of those are open for registration on our website.
And we've got links there that I put in the
Yes.
comment section. By the way, somebody said here that, let me see, calling it a room is a good way to settle the pronunciation.
To call it
argument, a room. So how about a
science.
laboratory room? No.
I was going to say it's still
Okay,
laboratory.
no, that
so
doesn't help.
We could say lab
All right.
room. How's
Lab
that?
room.
Lab room.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that would
and
work.
Luke from Western Australia said someone needs to represent Western Australia. Well, I
Oh.
agree. Hi, Luke from Western Australia. Actually, I haven't been to Perth in a long time, and
I have never been there.
I need to get back there to Perth. When I was in Australia just recently, I was over in Tasmania and a place like someone from Adelaide here. So, and they make a comment. Yeah, Adelaide's one of those. I haven't been to Adelaide that much. But anyway, okay, we're going to have a sneak peek in here. Let's
Okay,
hope
okay.
the signal works.
Let's
and we've got a
hope.
link there to the educational program. So we're doing these educational science programs now at the Creation Museum. This is a brand new lab that we're building.
Yes.
We'll say lab. That
We'll
solves
call
the
it a
problem,
lab.
doesn't it?
We'll call it a science lab.
Science lab. And here we are. This actually used to be, would you believe, this used to be a grill.
It was a restaurant, yes.
It was. And we turned the
Yeah.
grill into a science lab.
Yes.
And so, I mean, we've got, how many microscopes do we have like this? These are really
We
good.
have 50 microscopes.
50
Yes,
microscopes,
50.
high quality microscopes. And we actually do microscope programs here too.
We do.
And we're just starting to set up the equipment. We've got the, you see cupboards in here. We've got
Our tables are
the
custom
lab
made.
tables. They're all,
Because there is no science supply company that actually makes this size. And so because we wanted to be able to fit 30 students in here, we had a company custom make this size for us so that we can do that with our space.
oh, that is excellent.
Yes.
And so we'll be getting all this set up. And tell us a bit more about the content of what we're doing in here. By the way, someone watching from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Oh, that's not far where I used to live.
Oh, they want to know, a science lab's going to be streamed online as well for those who are
We've
not
had
close
many
enough.
of requests for that. So we're waiting for the lab to get finished, and then we will pursue that in the future.
Okay, so that's a
Hoping,
possibility.
yeah, possibility. Maybe probably not next year, but hopefully not too long after. We can either film those labs and provide those for students, to purchase a curriculum from home, or possibly stream them live when we offer certain labs as well.
Hey, by the way, I just mentioned, and for our social media team who are monitoring this, to put links in, if we've got the links up on our online bookstore, and that is you actually produced all these guides now for the
Yes,
Creation
yes,
Museum and the Ark Encounter that are now available here at the Ark Encounter Creation Museum. We'll make them available online so people can get them ahead of time. But
Yes.
there's student guides for all the different age levels.
Yes.
And then teacher guides with the answers as well.
Yes.
And they're good for adults, they're good for little kids, they're done age appropriate for them in regard to content, depth and so on. And it enables you to bring your kids here, or you just come, or a group, or
Your
whoever,
student groups. Yeah,
and
sure.
go through the Ark and the Creation Museum and learn all the content.
Yes.
And they've been very, very popular. We only just received them in and put them up for...
I know they sold
for
a
the
few
school.
hundred last week, I
Well,
think.
it's just
So,
amazing
yeah, it was
because we just got them
exciting.
in and put them out, and they just go zoom, and people
And
really...
they also get a sneak peek from you throughout all the guides. A little insight from Ken Ham in every single age level. So.
Yeah, but you call me
It's
Flat
handy.
Ken.
Well, that
'Cause
little
that-
kids
that-
respond to
actually,
that.
our
They
media-
like that.
our
They
media
like
pe-
Flat Ken.
Our media people did this sort of caricature
Yes,
of me called
a
Flat
Flat
Ken,
Ken.
and you put Flat Ken there in the
Yes.
guide. So there we have a link. Hey, our social media team are monitoring this. Isn't that great? That's
Oh,
what they're supposed
very
to
good.
do.
Yes.
Okay, so they're putting... Oh, no, they will be putting a link in there. They put a link for the educational programs in here.
Excellent.
Yes, and then we got a link
And there's a great
to-
discount on the guides too. So if teachers are planning on bringing a group of students, they can actually purchase the guides. I think it's only $1.50 a guide if they purchase them in lots of 10. So we've made it very affordable for teachers and homeschool groups to buy those guides in advance because there is pre-visit activities in the guides so that teachers can actually encourage their kids to start thinking about what they know or what they might want to learn when they come to the Creation Museum or Ark Encounter. And that way they come here already ready with certain key questions that they want to focus on.
So
when they
somebody
arrive.
here said, I think I know why they said this, Ken Ham, the ever-ready bunny. God has blessed him with boundless energy. We just came off a week. Well, actually, we had the women's conference.
We had the wet yes,
and
answering atheists last
then we
week.
had the Easter conference. And I think the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I've also travelled in the meantime, and this week I'm travelling somewhere I'm speaking to 5,000 men at a rally
Wow.
this week.
Fantastic.
Some rally in the valley. And then I'm also speaking at a homeschool conference in Georgia. Teach Them Diligently conference.
Right.
And then I think we're doing a supporters rally somewhere, and that's just this week. I mean, I didn't have enough to do last week. So anyway, Jennifer, tell us just real quickly a little bit about the sort of things they do in here, they'll be doing in here in these
Sure,
labs. And
so, yeah.
to come to these are for the Explore program, so they need to register for these, right?
They do have to register. Now, we're primarily going to be using the lab for the high school lab program
Okay.
because we can only fit 30 students in here. Our Explore Days, we can fit 50 students. So
Okay.
we do most of that teaching in our other classrooms so we can fit more kids in there.
Now, the Discover programs, they can go online at the Creation Museum website and find
Yes.
about those. The Discover programs are workshops that are included. There's no extra charge or
Right,
anything
they're
like that.
included
for the
with
Discover
museum
ones.
admission. You
And
can
they
come
just
to
come
those
in
free.
and they can do them
Yes.
during the day. and they cover a whole range of topics as well. We even have one for grandparents.
Yes, we do.
Special one for grandparents. But the Explore programs are more intensive, and
Yes.
there is a charge because we use all sorts of equipment,
Supplies,
and
yes,
and so
yes,
on. So
staff and-
tell us a little
yes.
bit about what you're going to be doing in here.
So in here we'll be offering the high school science labs, and as I said, there's going to be 4 next year: biology, chemistry, physics, and forensic science. So I will be teaching the biology and forensic science. Roger Patterson, one of our longtime staff members who taught college prep level chemistry for years in the school system, will be teaching our chemistry course. And Dr. Danny Faulkner, our astronomer, will be teaching our physics course. Of course, he taught physics for years, at the university level. So these students who enroll in the program are getting top-level instruction.
Yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal to think that we can do that as a Christian organization,
Yes.
as a creationist organization, because we have a number of scientists here. We have an observatory here. Dr. Danny
Yes,
Faulkner
yes.
runs the observatory.
Yes.
And we know of no other Christian facility in the world that has an observatory like this with the telescopes that we have.
Yes.
So we have special astronomy programs. And, of course, we have the planetarium.
Yes.
And we have Dr. David Menton, who...
He helps a lot with our biology program. He'll actually come in. He taught our last class. We ended the year with a rat dissection because we were talking about mammals. So he came in and spent 2 hours with the kids, gave them an in-depth understanding of human anatomy prior to their rat dissection. So it was a really wonderful instruction from an expert in the field.
And he's the one that was doing classes on microscopy too,
Yes,
wasn't
he does all of our Explore Days on microscopy and gives them in-depth understanding of how to use a binocular microscope as well as how to go out and purchase one that they can use at home, which is fantastic because a lot of people don't know how to buy one.
And he taught anatomy to medical students in St. Louis at
Washington University.
Washington University School of Medicine. He has a PhD in cell biology from Brown University, and he's one of the best communicators I have ever
Yes.
met.
He can take very complicated topics right down to those kids' level, and they thoroughly enjoy him.
So somebody here
He's
watching from
fantastic.
Hilton Head, somebody said, can you get college credit? No, not at...
No college courses yet. No, these are for high schoolers.
But we actually have some colleges that are working with us with our online programs.
Online
We have
programs,
some
right,
online
yes.
educational
Online
programs.
education
We're going to be
programs.
adding a lot more of those as
Yes.
well. We actually now have started an official education department here
Yes.
at Answers and Genesis, which Jennifer is part of. Dr. Georgia
Georgia
Purdom
Purdom, yeah.
heads that up, and we're going to be increasing that as time goes on, and do a lot of these educational programs. And when we get the lower level finished at the
Arc Encounter.
we're going to, of the Answer Centre, the new Answer Centre that just opened, we're going to have a lot of workshop rooms down there as
Yes.
well. So lots of things that we'll be able to do. And somebody here saying a new chapter in the Answers in Genesis ministry, and really it is, isn't it?
It is.
It is
Yes,
a new
yes.
chapter.
Our department just formed in January, I believe, right? So
Yes.
it's a brand new department.
And
Very
you
exciting.
You sort of designed the lab, Jennifer?
I consulted with Dr. Georgia Purdom as well, and we talked a lot about what we wanted to look like. And of course, I worked with the furniture company primarily to make sure that we could fit the maximum number of students that we wanted to reach in here, because we want to reach as many kids as we can
Right.
with the truth of God's Word, and that science always confirms the Bible 100%.
And this is only going to grow because eventually we want to put bigger
Yes.
labs in and more
Yes.
labs, and maybe
More
we can
labs.
do something down the Arc Encounter as well,
Yes.
and put labs in down there.
Because we have a
and-
huge area down at the Answer Center where we can put all kinds of workshop rooms and facilities to teach kids.
So we're just going to increase our educational
Yes.
programs. So
Absolutely.
there we are. We've got the links there that you can go to look up those educational
Mm-hmm.
programs, the high school labs at the Creation Museum. They can book into those. They're called Explore Days. And
Explore Days are the one-day programs.
and then you have the camps.
And the high school labs are the full-year curriculum courses. Yes.
So do you want to explain that to them? in a
Yes,
little bit
so
more detail?
Explore Days is our one-day science program. Those are open to kids 4th through 12th grade. Those kids can pick one of 13 science topics. You know, we only started with 8 topics, and it was so popular that we're expanding to 13 different science topics next year. Our newest topic is actually Explore Paleontology, because we just got Dr. Gabrielle Haynes on
yeah, and
staff.
she's got a PhD in
and she loves to
paleontology.
teach kids,
Yeah.
so we're really excited about adding that to the program in our summer camp in July. It's actually the first time we're introducing that Explore Day. And so we'll have 13 topics. Those are all open for registration for next year. That just went live last week. So you can go ahead and register for any of those. You spend one day at the Creation Museum with the same expert level instruction, and the kids get to leave with a whole folder of resources about everything they learned that day. They get a certificate for the 4 hours of completion, so the parents have that for their homeschool record as well. And then our high school labs, those registrations are open as well, and they actually close in July, and we already had a few registrations in our science lab. So I would recommend
So they get booked
doing
out.
it soon. They do. They get sold out. So if you're really interested in that, I would definitely recommend. And we've actually had families the last year coming from 5 hours away for the high school lab.
So
So that's very exciting because they only have to come 12 days out of the year. So it makes it very doable for homeschool families for the high school labs.
And the other thing too, people can go online and have a look. Look at the Ark Encounter website, or the Creation Museum website. Maybe people want to come here for a week,
Yes,
or the whole time of the labs. And we now have a special family, what we call voyage
Family Bride, the pass.
pass,
Yes,
where
yes.
people can come and they get this special 7-day pass. And those who have a number of children, you'll see that we have really made it simplistic and affordable.
Yes.
And so you can get this whole 7-day pass, go back and forward to the Creation Museum and the Ark, multiple entries, exit whenever you want, and parking's all included. And for the whole family, you get your special little souvenir card with your photograph on it. So you come in and out for that week. And if you've got kids who are booked into these
They
labs,
could do,
and
I mean, you could have high schoolers in the high school labs and kids in Explore Days on the same week.
on
So
the
while the
same week,
parents are visiting,
and then the
kids could
parents
be in
can
educational
go back
programs.
and forward, and then they can do other
Sure.
tourist things in the area while they're here, and so make it a destination location. So
yes.
you don't have to live in the area to come and do these things.
Absolutely not.
So there we are. Well, have a look at the links that we've given you there. Go online, and this past week, between the Creation Museum and the Ark, you know how many visits there were to the Ark and the Creation Museum? People coming from out of town coming here was 32,000.
I was going to say, I would expect thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
The place
Oh, yes, it's been very,
there were people
very
pouring in
busy,
here.
which is
And we haven't-
fantastic.
We're only just starting up for the busy
Summer
time.
season, yeah.
The summer season, plants are just coming out. I can see out the windows here, see the gardeners working out there now, getting ready for all the plants that are going to blossom.
Yes.
They spring forth. How's that for? Yeah, that
That's
works,
perfect.
doesn't it?
Spring, yeah. That's
And
good.
the
Very good.
gardens come back into existence again.
Yes.
But it's going to be a fun year. You're going to be busy.
I'll be very busy. We have 3 camps this summer. We have 2 5-day science camps, which are open for registration. They're both about half full, which
Now,
is
these are day
fantastic.
camps.
These are day camps with 1 sleepover in the Creation Museum. And there's also the option for parents to register to sleep over with their child so they can participate in that overnight if they want to. And then we are going to start our very first 3-day forensic science camp, which the kids are really excited about. We had lots of requests for that. We're going to have many of our staff involved in that. The kids will be solving a case study that actually involves one of our telescopes in the observatory. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see you here this summer.
There's nowhere else in the world you can get programs like this.
There isn't. We're the only place.
Only place in the entire
only place, yes.
world. So go online if you want your kids to come here. Book up, come into the area. And they're building 12 new hotels in this area.
Yes,
because
I
of
heard that this weekend.
Primarily because of the Ark and the Creation
Yes.
Museum. And there's some new hotels that just opened. And that's been a little bit of a problem in the past with the number of hotels trying to cope with all the people
Exactly.
that
Yes.
are coming. But Jennifer, I just praise the Lord that He's brought you along here, and you have such a burden for this, and to reach these kids, and all the programs that you're doing. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal addition to our educational programs
Yes.
as we ramp up all our educational programs.
Yes.
And we have a number of scientists here now, educational specialists, people like yourself. And so go online. We've got the links there in the comments section. We actually revamped the Creation Museum website to be able to help people to find all these things.
Yes,
much more,
exactly. So you should be able to find our
easily.
educational programs very easily now on the website. Yes.
The website has evolved. And
It has.
it'll
It has.
continue to evolve. But our web
Absolutely.
web design team, have done a great job, and they're going to be revamping our ARC website as well in regard to make it much easier for people to find all these sorts of things. With that,
Absolutely.
we're going to say goodbye here from... did you know that goodbye means God be with you?
Oh.
Well, that's the etymology
Yes.
of
Right.
it. It comes from God be with you. Yeah. Anyway, goodbye here from the Creation Museum on this beautiful, sunny April morning.
Bye.